Hello, and welcome to our demo titled Design of a Data-Driven Intervention Dashboard for SDG Localization. For SDG localization efforts in the Indian state of Karnataka, we present our intervention dashboard on maternal deaths under SDG 3. We have used publicly available datasets under the health domain from the Government of Karnataka websites, which are listed on the right here. We have analyzed 115 attributes across all 5 datasets, and based on consultations with the domain experts, we narrowed it down to just 4 primary factors, namely female tuberculosis deaths, female leprosy patients, births delivered in a health facility, births delivered by C-section. I will now demonstrate the intervention dashboard on maternal deaths. So this is our intervention dashboard for maternal deaths, and it has been divided into 4 components: differential impact analysis, prescriptive modeling with stability mapping, and budget allocation. We'll first start with differential impact analysis. As we can see here, the current state average for maternal death has been listed as 19.42. All the 4 parameters have been listed in this drop-down menu, and the factors can be changed by plus or minus 10 or 20% using the slider down below. Now, using a multivariate regression model, we can analyze how the predicted change in the maternal deaths for a district can be compared with the neighboring district's change. So if I choose a parameter, say female leprosy patients, and I decrease this factor by say 20%, then in the heat map down below, we can see that the maternal deaths have also decreased, where Bengaluru shows the maximum reduction and Kodagu shows the minimum reduction. If I select another parameter, say female tuberculosis deaths, and this factor is now increased by, say, 20%, then we see that the average change in maternal deaths all over Karnataka have also increased here, where again Bengaluru and Belgavi show the maximum increment and Kodagu shows the minimum increment. The dataset is also visible down below for further analysis. Now we move on to the prescriptive modeling part. Now, moving beyond predictions, a policymaker may want to know what steps should be taken to lower down the current state average to a target value. So we see that the current state average is 19.42, and the policymaker may want to know that what should I do so that this target of 15 can be reached from 19. So based on the policymaker's understanding and domain expertise, he or she may decide the sensitivity or importance for each of the parameters. So for cesarean, it might be an important factor. So the sensitivity has been set to 0.8. Health facility is very important. So the sensitivity has been set to 1. Leprosy may not have much of an influence. So it has been set to 0. And TB death has been set to say 0.4. So based on this, we see the new prescribed values on the left here. And we see that for all of Karnataka, uniformly, the most important factor is health facilities. So all the births have to be delivered in a public institutional facility or a health facility having skilled personnel taking care of the hygiene and the safety of the mothers. TB deaths have to be brought down drastically. And since leprosy has not been given much of the importance, so there has been no change in this parameter. So based on the combination of all these parameters or new prescribed values, the target maternal death can be reached from at least 19 to 15. Consequently, we also see a stability versus impact graph here. And this is the zone with high stability and high impact. And we see 6 to 7 districts are falling in this most desirable zone. Dharwad might have a very high impact, but it is falling a little short in being in the most desirable zone. The heat map here shows the change in number of maternal deaths. And we see Karnataka, in Karnataka, Uttar Kannada has the least impact, whereas Dharwad has the maximum impact. It is also shown in the district-wise ranking here, where we see all the districts have been ranked according to the impact based on these interventions. I can also change the slider for a different target value. So say if I want to see the target 5 from 19, then how does the stability versus impact and prescribed values change? So here we see that there should be a drastic drop in TB patient death and increase in C-section awareness so that the target of 5 can be achieved from 19. And now Dharwad is also falling in the most desirable zone. So also we see that there are some districts which are falling in the high stability and low impact areas. So for example, we see Uttar Kannada, it has very high stability, but very low impact of these interventions. So this would mean that Uttar Kannada would sustain for a very long time in this low impact zone, but deeper understanding and more intense interventions are required so that Uttar Kannada and many districts like that with low impact and high stability are pushed towards the desirable zone. Now we'll move on towards the budget allocation. So in the budget allocation part, for a set budget of 100 crores, we can see that how this budget can be distributed across various schemes for the given factors. This is depending on the sensitivities assigned to them and the weights associated with them. So since we assigned zero sensitivity to leprosy, no budget has been allocated for leprosy related schemes, whereas health facility, which had the highest sensitivity, has been allocated the largest chunk. The heat map down below also shows the district-wise distribution of this budget allocation. And we see that Bengaluru and Belgaum are receiving the largest chunk of this budget. And if we now go to the schemes button, we see that for a chosen scheme, how much budget can be allocated. So here we have tuberculosis care and prevention initiative for women, and around 3,415 lakhs has been allocated for this particular scheme all across Karnataka. And Belgavi, Bengaluru, Tumkuru, Raichuru, these districts have been allocated a very large sum. The red districts means they have been allocated a very large sum, whereas the green ones do not need so much budget. Probably they are faring well. We can also see under the beneficiary section how many beneficiaries will be there for a given scheme. So if we select, say, enhancing maternal health care and accessibility scheme, then according to 100 unit cost of the scheme, there will be around 34 lakh beneficiaries all over Karnataka, and maximum beneficiaries will be falling in these districts on the top here. So this was our intervention dashboard on maternal deaths from SDG 3. We have also worked with proprietary government data sets with the planning department of Government of Karnataka and have prepared similar dashboards at a more granular level, that is using the subdivisions of the districts for various other indicators as well. That's all from my side. Thanks a lot for listening.